Hey everyone, this is Ian with AlphaCars and Motorcycles. Today I've got an awesome Royal Enfield to share with you. This is a brand new 2023 Continental GT 650. It's in the Ventura Storm color, one of my personal favorite colors on one of my favorite Royal Enfields that they have to offer right now. So this video is going to be a detailed overview of this Continental. We're going to talk about some specifications, the reliability, the 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. We'll get some of my thoughts on the Continental as well, and I'll go over the controls and start it up. We'll be able to hear that 650 twin, and I'll take it for a few laps in the parking lot so you can see it in action. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We do give you daily motoring content, so definitely, like I said, subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But now let's take a closer look at this gorgeous Ventura Storm Continental. Let's start out by admiring this awesome color. It is one of my personal favorites. I love that shade of blue, how it kind of glistens in the sunlight. It has some sort of metallic flake in it, and the gloss black with that kind of silver white dividing stripe there, and the Royal Enfield logo really all ties in. We have the gloss black frame, front fender, and wheels as well. And of course we have the chrome accents of the engine side cases and that dual exhaust. I just think Royal Enfield did such a great job tying this bike together. It's a real head turner. I know everyone driving by today, seeing this in front of our building, their heads are definitely turning. This bike has a couple tasteful accessories. It has the dual seat cowl on the back to give it that cafe look, even more so than it already has. And we have the compact engine bars as well. These are in matte black. We can see they offer some discreet protection. If unfortunately the bike did, have a tip over, it would protect those side cases of the engine. And these accessories, plus many, many more, are available on our e-store. We can ship them right to your door. And that dual seat cowl is offered in, I think, pretty much all of the colors that the Continental comes in. And I love that seat cowl because you can just unbolt it and then you get your pillion seat back. But then if you're just going to be solo riding and you want that cafe look, you just kind of bolt it back on. I think it's super practical and offers that kind of dual use, dual purpose there. So then you're not taking that factory seat off and losing the ability to take a passenger. But now let's start talking about this Continental itself. Let's start with that 650cc parallel twin. This is fuel injected. So behind these gorgeous side covers right here, we have a cable operated throttle body with a couple fuel injectors in there. And the fueling on these bikes is so sorted. The cold starts are super smooth. I do have a riding video of the Continental, and no matter the temperature or the elevation you're at, they always start right up, run super smooth. There's no kind of hesitations or stumbling. It's really, they have it dialed in as far as the fueling. So I really like that about these Continentals, and really the whole Royal Enfield lineup in general. The fueling is just so sorted, they run so smooth. So we have 47 horsepower, 38 foot-pounds of torque, and we have a 6-speed gearbox. So going around to our shifter side, the gearboxes in these are silky smooth, super easy to find all the gears and neutral especially. They're really a pleasure to use. They're not like clunky or anything. Like I said, it is actually silky smooth, and the moment you ride one, you'll see that for yourself. And these are air and oil cooled. So we've got these nice heat fins on the cylinder jug, as well as even some little heat fins on the header pipes. And then we have an external oil cooler up here behind the front wheel. So very nice, no complications of liquid cooling, worrying about, just another fluid to have to change, or radiators or hoses, just adding to that kind of, simple, clean, retro look. And I will note as well, the oil filter is right on the front of the engine block right there. Very easy to get to. Royal Enfield really made these very easy to service by yourself. If you're into that, or you want to, learn how to do that, these are a great bike to get into doing, satisfying, fun things like just changing your oil. Royal Enfield claims around 70 miles to the gallon. So with a 3.3 gallon fuel tank, you're gonna maximize your miles per gallon. You're not gonna be worried about, finding a gas station or fuel stop all the time. So of course that depends on your how you're riding the bike, but under normal riding, around 70 miles to the gallon. Like I said, these 650s are very efficient and they're tuned very well. And then we have a 436 pound wet weight, and that is the actual weight you're going to be riding and handling. Don't be fooled, so to speak, by a motorcycle's dry weight, because there's no fluids in the bike like oil, gas, brake fluid. The wet weight is what you want to go by. That's the actual weight you're going to be handling and maneuvering. So 436 pounds, a very standard weight in this class of bike. Now let's talk about the suspension. We've got 4.3 inches of travel in the front and 3.4 inches in the rear. Once again, a very normal amount to have for a street bike like this. And then we've got 36 spoke, 18-inch aluminum alloy wheels, front and rear. I love these spoked wheels. They look great. And I like the contrast of the black rim and black hub with the chrome spokes. Once again, just Royal Enfield really tying everything together with these colors. And we've got 6.8 inches of ground clearance. So plenty of ground clearance in case you gotta go over a speed bump or maybe debris comes up on the road. So very nice there. Now let's get on to the brakes. Standard ABS, front and rear. The front disc is pretty big, 320 millimeters with a 2-piston caliper. The brakes are very nice on the Continental. They're not like overly grabby per se, but there's a very short travel to when they do grab, and they're very easy to modulate. So just very smooth and very effective. In the rear rotor here, 240 millimeters with a single piston caliper. And we can see it is a drilled rotor, and it is a floating rotor design. So it's awesome to see that technology. Originally, the floating rotor kind of design and the drilled rotors were designed for motorsport use, for racing, and then now it's trickled down into all of our, or a lot of our kind of performance road vehicles. So awesome to see that technology on this Continental. So that'll ensure, maximum heat dissipation, and as well as keeping braking very, very smooth for you. Now the seat height, 31.1 inches, and that factory seat, I found it to be very comfortable, and it's easy to get a foot down with that, pretty low seat height. So whether you're in a parking lot, you're at a stoplight, even if the road's kind of uneven, not intimidating to ride or feel like you can't get a foot down in a circumstance like that. So now let's throw a leg over it, and I'll walk you through some of the controls and check out that retro style dash. I love these bikes because it's retro style with modern design and modern features. So first off, we have our clutch side. So of course, we have our clutch here. We have our high beam back here, flash to pass, just this yellow switch, momentary switch. And then low beam is always on, and then high beam, to have it continuously on, you just flip that switch there. We have our blinkers. They are not self-canceling, so just make sure to click those back in when you're done. And we have the horn. Moving to our throttle side, of course we have our throttle, front brake. We can see how immediate that grabs and builds pressure. Like I said, very, very effective and very satisfying brakes to use on this bike. We have our kill switch, or it's in the run position right now, and that would be kill. And then our starter for that electric start. And I love these clip-on style bars that the Continental has. Once again, keeping with that cafe style, and the little Royal Enfield logo here on this triple clamp. I love that. I think it looks sweet. Now let's turn the key on. I love these, retro style dual gauges. And then we have a fuel gauge in here. We can see we're full of gas. I love modern bikes, so they have fuel gauges. There's no remembering, when you filled up last, tracking the mileage, or even opening your fuel tank, trying to peek in there if you're not sure how much gas you have. It really takes away a lot of stress of riding. It's like hopping in your car. You just read that fuel gauge and you're good to go. So right now it's on the odometer. 3.5 miles. This bike is new. It was just built and just road tested to make sure everything's a-okay. And now checking out the multifunction, we have this button in the center where we have a trip A, a trip B, and back to our odometer. And if we want to reset one of these trips, you just make sure you're on your respective trip and you push and hold our button, and that resets right back to 0. So very easy to use, very intuitive. And we have some of our lights on our tachometer here. So we are in neutral and the key's on, so all we gotta do is bump the starter. Starts right up, and the ABS light, that will go off on its own once you drive forward a few feet. That is normal, that is working as designed. It just has to do a self-check every time you start the bike and start riding. So, like I said, you ride 3 or 4 feet forward and the ABS light will go off on its own, working as designed. As we can see, running very smooth. That was a cold start. I'll give it a couple small revs for you. So that, really proving what I was saying about the fueling on these bikes. That's completely cold. I gave it, just a couple very light revs. There's no hesitation. You can literally start it up, let it idle for a few seconds, and just hit the road and not have to worry about fiddling with a choke on a carburetor or worrying about it bogging out or losing power, which is really, unsafe trying to get on the road when the bike is like that. We do have exhaust options for these 650s if you want to have even more of a bark, so to speak. So the factory exhaust sounds very good, especially under load. It's very, very throaty, and you get a lot of intake noise too. But if you really, like I said, want to kind of uncork this thing, I'll link the video in this video. We have an in-depth video. We have a couple of them actually on some of our exhaust options that really make these 650s sound wild. And now I'm going to throw a leg over this once again and take it for a few laps in the parking lot. I'll set up the camera with the mic on the camera so you can hear the 650 as if it was, riding by you in person. Like I said, they sound great, and we'll get to admire this Ventura Storm color going by with that sun glistening on it. And now that we've heard and seen the Continental in action, let me start talking about that 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. So that's really how much Royal Enfield stands behind their product. Most other motorcycle manufacturers, I believe at most are a 2-year warranty, but most are actually only 1-year warranties. And like I said, the Royal Enfield one, 3 years, unlimited mileage. You could literally ride your Royal Enfield around the world in the first 3 years and you're still under a factory warranty. So these bikes, they're very high quality, they're very robust, the design's great, the fit and finish is really, really good, especially the price point Royal Enfield sells these at. In my opinion, these really outshine a lot of other bikes in that same price point. Like even the grips, which I meant to mention when I was sitting on the bike, they're kind of like a soft touch rubber, very comfortable. I've tested other bikes that are actually a bit more expensive than these, and they have kind of plasticky grips that, make your palms like kind of vibrate and ache after riding for a little bit. So like I said, just all very impressive things with the fit and finish and the quality of these Royal Enfields. They really are European quality. And we sell hundreds of these every year, and we see little to none come back for warranty concerns. And I'm not just saying that. I'm always in our shop documenting things for, whether it's internal use or YouTube or social media. So if a bike's in the shop getting worked on, I do know about it. And like I said, I literally can't remember the last time one of these was in for a warranty concern. Now talking about different accessories we have to offer. Obviously, we started this off by pointing out that dual seat cowl and those engine protection bars, but we've got plenty more to really build up one of these however you would like, and really there's no limit to it. So we've got things like a different windshield options, even like a short fly screen to add some style and kind of keep some bugs out of your teeth. We've got the engine bars there, different engine protection options. We even have different ones to those, is what I meant to say. We've got bar end mirrors, an LED headlight, bulb upgrade, headlight rock protector. We've got performance air filter, adjustable levers. We've got heated grips for these, even like a USB charger, so you can keep your device or GPS powered while you're using it if you've got it on the handlebars. And even a single kind of cafe style seat that's more kind of swooped up in the back with a single cowl. So that does make it, single rider only if you did do that. But that's why I was saying I do like that dual cowl, but many prefer the look of the single cowl, so it's definitely up to you. And everything here will be linked in the description, and you can check it out on our e-store. We can ship these parts right to your door. And I will link as well, we built one of these up with really almost all of these accessories I just mentioned. I'm really making it a custom kind of cafe racer style build. And we have a full video on that. So like I said, check that out as well if you really want to see one of these kind of upgraded and accessorized almost as much as you can. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something new today. Please leave a like on this video. We do appreciate your support. We do notice it. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, please subscribe so then you don't miss the daily motoring content that we try to give you. This has been Ian reporting from our Boxborough location, and until next time.